Okay. I need hang on so I take those.
Black is not a crime. 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 Black is not a crime.
You're on the wrong side.
Black is not a crime. Black is not a crime. Black is not a crime.
Why do you look like you're crying? You're in authority. Why are you crying? You're in fucking authority. Why the fuck are you crying? You're in fucking authority.
Don't take this because they're cursing. We're next. We're next. Okay, are you leaving? I want them to move first. We get them to move. Chris, oh, there you are. Oh my God, don't do that. I'm like, where are you? Is he a sergeant or a captain? All right, tell her to stop talking. Chris, do you want to come to me? Let's walk. Let's walk.
Oh, you reporting. You good, bro?
All right, so you just missed a really intense interaction between police and protesters, excuse me. They actually backed the police down, and police just left the scene. This is a police car right here. You can see they're pretty much on top of that car as that car reverses back towards the CNN Center. But protesters got into police officers' faces. One protester threw an egg at the officer, chanting, "We can't breathe, we can't breathe." They also had their arms raised in front of those officers saying, "Hands up, don't shoot." And that was probably the most powerful symbolic movement that I had seen here today. So as I told you before, we couldn't get up and down this street. But after that intense interaction, that very, not violent, but intense interaction between police and protesters, we have now been let onto the street. In fact, when that road was blocked off, one of the leaders with Atlanta Police said to me, "I cannot guarantee your safety here." And that was shortly before they actually backed off of the street. So this is a police car right now. You can see that protesters are making it pretty hard for him to actually turn around. We're gonna stay on this a little bit just to see what happens. There are people everywhere right now. You can see this woman yelling in the window of this officer. It looks like he'll be able to get through, but people are angry. People are upset. They are getting in these officers' faces and not even letting them drive down the street in downtown Atlanta. Just to let you know where we are right now, we are in front of the CNN Center. We have now, officers are still here, as you can see, and so are the protesters. They have taken over this street. They have shut down this street as well. This officer, we're gonna hang on this shot, this officer is still just trying to get through the street. Protesters will not let him through. They are getting in the face of some other Atlanta police officers right now. As you can see in front of you, over that black sign, there's an officer standing there. Protesters are in his face and they're yelling, "Hands up, don't shoot." This is what's happening right now in front of the CNN Center. This was the plan all along, to actually protest and walk here after we left the Capitol. But once we got to this intersection of Centennial Olympic Park and Marietta Street, it was by several officers. Again, after that intense interaction, the officers backed off and the ones that were on bicycles just rode off. And this officer is the last one here on scene, or one of the last ones. And it looks like he's trying to get up the street. And once again, protesters are not letting him by. This is the first time we've seen this sort of interaction between police and protesters. It was peaceful. It was peaceful.
Aren't you picking me there?
Excuse me, one moment. It was peaceful for the most part. It had just gotten a little volatile here. Sorry, protesters were talking to me. Sorry. So we're going to continue to follow them and see what happens next. It looks like it is getting peaceful again. I'll send it back to you guys. Okay.
Clear? Okay.
I stepped in the egg.
Oh man, I'm just thinking in another live interview. This is, I don't know.
I'm like, just keep up. Not letting him out.
Okay, so right now we are at the CNN Center. I want to show you what's going on.
Hey, you can't fucking do that! You can't fucking do that!
Guys, come out to me live. Come out to me live.
I'll call them.
Call them, call them. Oh my God.
Pepper spray. Pepper spray. Right here, sis.
Guys, come out to me live.
Hey, Paul! If you get sprayed, come here!
Oh.
Come here,
You okay?
Pepper spray. Don't get close.
Guys, come out to me live. What did they say?
I said stand by.
Stand by. You gotta. Oh, they're on Haley.
Fuck you!
Oh. Oh. Shoot. All right, we gotta like go somewhere safe. Where can we get to? Can they come to us? Are they on her camera?
Very violent.
I don't know if they may be on his camera.
Call on intake, make sure they have you. I'm just calling intake, make sure they have you. Hey, do you have Brittany Miller?
They went to Haley. They went to Haley. They went to Haley. Don't touch me. And he picked up his bike and shoved it into her chest. Oh, that's awesome. Oh my God. They're coming to me next. Huh? I know who it was. I know exactly who it was.
Civilian war military. Don't make this shit unnecessarily difficult. You de-escalate. You work for us. We don't work for you.
Chris.
Welfare recipients.
Let's go, Atlanta police. Who run the city? Them or you? Is this a black city or not? This is your city. You was here. Get them motherfuckers under control. Our street. Our street. Our street. Our street.
Okay, so we are literally right in front of the CNN Center. I saw the entire violent altercation happen from beginning to end. We've been talking about how peaceful this protest was that ended about 10 minutes ago. There was a woman standing in front of this, what I'll call a police barricade, a human barricade, a couple of minutes ago. There was something that happened. She said, "Don't touch me." Her and the officer got into a verbal argument. That officer picked up his bike and shoved it into her chest. And after that, there was multiple altercations of those two going back and forth. Other people jumped in, and then we saw that pepper spray was deployed. You saw a lot of officers wiping their eyes. You also saw a lot of people wiping their eyes. Well, that is exactly what I saw happen here in the front of the CNN Center. And then you saw people just running everywhere. Then there was a second breakout of violence with even more pepper spray, where I'm actually seeing people around me still wiping their eyes, still pouring water on top of their eyes. But it was not something that we saw coming. It happened in just a matter of seconds, just like that. I don't know if there were any injuries. I did see one man face down on the pavement, his hands behind his back, multiple officers around him. We will reach out to Atlanta Police to see if that man was arrested. You can see more officers are actually now coming through this street. We are on Centennial Olympic Boulevard in Marietta in front of CNN. The crowd is not dispersed. More officers are here. More protesters getting in their faces. You can see what's happening to my left. There may be another altercation happening right now. They're getting pretty close together. Officers and protesters may clash at this moment. We do see officers trying to push through the crowd with their motorcycles. If they do clash, it would not be the first time. We've seen multiple interactions in the last 20 minutes. I have to be honest with you, it was one of the scariest moments I've ever had in my life, because you did not know what was going to happen, and people were just shoving each other, pushing each other, and running because of that pepper spray, because it is so very strong. And it was emotional, and it was just hard to be in that moment. Again, we're going to see if there were any injuries, but clearly this is not letting up. People are not going anywhere, and if anything, this has made them even more angry. So we do see officers on foot right now. Chris, stay on that. We see officers on foot right now, walking towards the crowd. These officers in front of me, what I'm calling the human barricade, are on their bikes. So we're going to see what's going to happen here. We don't know if there will be another clash, but officers are standing here. More officers have arrived on scene since those last two interactions. Right now, nothing is happening. People are just standing with their signs chanting, "No justice, no peace." But guys, this is not the peaceful protest we saw a couple of hours ago. I'll send it back to you.
No peace! No peace! No peace! No peace! Fuck the police! No peace! No peace! No peace!
You can see it's happening. Can you see what's happening right now? Oh. Yeah. Sidewalk.
Sidewalk.
I like that sidewalk. Yeah. Wanna go back to the sidewalk? No? We're on the street.
You okay, Blaine? Hey, Blaine, you all right?
He just walked away. charge me? Can you charge my phone? Why are they running? Are they pepper spray again?
A cable? I got the block, but my truck is right there. Both are on there. You can take over both of the cables. You can take over my phone if you need.
I have evidence.
One
Look
minute.
at this. Watch this.
That guy.
Yep, watch.
Lugo.
Boom.
Lugo is his name.
Yep. Got you on camera, homie.
Got you on
Got you on camera, homie. Got you on camera. Okay. Okay.
Ooh, that's going water.
Yeah, I can hear you. Hold on for 2 seconds. We're not, Chris, we can't come to you yet because Chris needs water on his eyes. Thank you. Are you okay? Thank you so much.
I just had away from my truck. I know, right?
Chris, we cannot do it right now. Can you call them? Call the call.
Let's go.
You sure?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Y'all playing.
What are they doing? Pushing them back? Sorry. Chris, watch your back. We're running into officers. Chris. Where are we going? right, so they just pushed us towards the bridge by State Arena. There have been several clashes since you last saw me live. You just see people really putting milk on top of their eyes at this point. They are now face to face with officers. Officers have created a huge, officers have created a huge barricade using their bodies and their bikes. They have had bottles thrown at them, water bottles. They've had cups full of liquid thrown at them. And so they've been pushed all the way back towards State Farm Arena. And you can see the protesters are gaining up on these officers. Things are still flying in the air. They've also been pepper spraying. We've seen a lot of people just having to put milk on top of their eyes because it burns so badly. So again, we've had several clashes. This is really just evolving moment by moment. You never know what's going to happen next. They're still chanting. When we heard people say, oh, he just got hit in the face. I don't know if you guys just saw that. One of the officers just got hit in the face, and it looks like he's going back towards the officers. And that officer, I'm sorry, it's hard for me to see, but that officer was just hit in the face with, looks like a bottle or a cup of liquid. And it's still happening. When you heard people saying Black Lives Matter, when you heard people saying and chanting, hands up, don't shoot, this is who they say they were talking to. They were talking to men and women in uniform. They were talking to Atlanta police. And now they are face to face with the people who that message was directed towards. And it has been violent. We thought that it was going to be peaceful. It was peaceful for most of the day. We walked up and down the streets of Atlanta. And then once they barricaded parts of downtown Atlanta and didn't allow these protesters to go where they wanted to, that's when things got heated, and they are still getting heated. So we're going to stay on this just so you can, we are right on the line between officers and protesters, so you can see firsthand what is happening right now. You see officers yelling, not officers yelling, you see protesters yelling at officers, excuse me. That officer right there, as you can see,
Excuse me, guys.
it looks like he may have been the one of the officers hit. There are a lot of people here. Chris, if you can swing around to your left.
Hey, fuck the police.
We're live on TV. Okay. So you can see how many people are just packed here on the street in front of the CNN Center. This is unlike anything I've ever seen before. Of course, we've had protests here in Atlanta before. We have shut down streets, but this got violent very quickly. We saw what happened in Minneapolis. We saw what happened in Los Angeles. We haven't seen any glass shattered or anything like that, but we have seen things thrown. We have seen people pushed with bikes, as I told you earlier. We have seen pepper spray deployed. People are angry, they are frustrated, and they are upset, and they will stand here until they get the justice that they want, guys.
Why?
This is weak. I listen to the cause.
They got you sitting here holding a bike like a pussy.
You said the young kids they run around harassing black children.
That's how it goes. And that's not loud. That's not loud. That dude right there, the tall guy.
Yeah, I know. He's an activist.
What is his name?
You have to speak up on corrupt shit. You just got to speak up on shit.
Charge it?
Yeah, I have to go to the car.
Why?
Because my cable's in. Can you take over my phone? I'm scared.
Speak up. You got to speak up. You fucking dying. Hello, fuck damn police. No justice, police. No justice. No justice! No justice! The police! No justice! No justice! No justice! Fuck the police!
Oh, they threw glass now.
Fuck you, nigga! Come over here! Fuck the police! Take your knee off my neck! Who's next? Who's next? Who's next? Who's next? Fuck the police! Take your knee off my neck!
I'm gonna post that later.
Fuck the police! Most of y'all is black and still racist! All y'all can suck my dick!
They gotta pay the right one.
Fuck the police! Take your knee off my neck! Fuck the police! Take your knee off my neck! Fuck the police! Take your knee off my neck! Fuck the police! Take your knee off my neck!
When you come here?
Like 2-3 hours ago. You know, we in the crowd. I mean, we're not really being violent. Yeah, I can find a people good. I can find a people good. I'm like, what do you know?
Do you want to get up there, Chris? Can you get up there? Okay. Where's CBS 46? He's up there. Channel 2's up there.
Start out over there.
That's not fair.
Life's not fair.
Can I make it fair?
How you gonna do that?
I don't know.
A black reporter. A black CNN reporter.
The problem is everybody behind you is gonna you trying to get a better shot?
What does it sit on that?
Why not?
I'm not gonna sit on so I can fall.
On there?
I'm clumsy. It'll be a whole different story. We're gonna have to. I have 29% left on my work phone for IFB.
I got a phone fully, two fully charged, or one fully charged and one halfway. I can't. Well, I've got a lot of people back by the car. I just don't want to leave y'all.
We'll be here. We're by our officer first.
What do you want charged?
I want. Well, do you have portable chargers?
Oh yeah, I do. I just need to get the cable.
Yeah, just go get the cable.
Okay.
I was like, what are you doing?
Okay, hold up.
This is your walk. This is your walk.
Yeah, that's it, Chris's. This is yours.
Oh, you want it?
No.
We're not riding. We can hear you.
Oh, excuse you. Why are you pushing? Say excuse me.
Okay. I appreciate that.
Hey, listen, we want to have our rally. Have our rally.
What y'all doing here?
Who is that?
Get your ass out the way then if you don't want to get hit. What do you mean?
Oh, that's risky. Whoa. You're a risk taker. I said you're a risk taker. Be careful.
Take that badge off, man. Do the right thing. Do the right thing, bro.
What's the right thing?
Fuck him. That nigga don't care about you, bro.
You don't even know him.
He works for a corrupt system. He don't care. He know the system corrupt. He still work with it.
When have you ever been able to trust a white nigga with blue eyes?
Everybody that's white with a badge is bad.
No, anybody with a badge is bad. Y'all niggas included.
We're gonna be live on TV.
You know the first year that we had a municipal police?
I don't know if you want to go to
You know
me.
the first year we had a municipal police force? It was the year after slavery ended, my nigga.
I don't know if you want to come to me.
Bro, I served 6 years in the military. Niggas like him will never give a fuck about you. Ever. You won't even look me in the eyes because you know you did.
Why are we always in the right spot? I don't.
I didn't say that. I never said that. You have a right to be angry. You have a right to be angry. I didn't say that. What I said was everybody that's white ain't your enemy.
If they not my ally, they my enemy.
But you don't know about it called this.
Silence is enemies. Silence is enemies. I don't hear that nigga change shit.
Listen, you got a choice to make this about the black people or what the white people want you to say.
Y'all got a chance to make a stand for something y'all love.
To get about what they want to hear,
Bro,
and what's the truth.
So we are.
You have a choice to record.
We have not moved because we haven't been able to move. We are packed like sardines here, right where the barricade is. People are still very passionate. People are still very, very angry. I know we've been saying that it calmed down a little bit, but here on the ground, you can still feel the tension. You can still feel the emotion. You can still hear it next to me right here. This man,
do it for you. Do the right thing,
this guy
bro.
right here is just having a conversation with officers. They're exchanging words peacefully right now. He's just saying, do the right thing, talking to a black officer in uniform. That's what we've really been hearing and seeing. I'm gonna stop talking so you can hear a little bit of what they're saying.
I'm black. I can get shot here like I can get shot in Detroit. This is America. This shit don't stop when you leave Atlanta. Go up to where the stones at. Go visit these white neighborhoods. Let's see if they give a fuck if you in Atlanta cop.
Okay.
Let's see if they give a fuck.
He's cursing, so we're going to stop there. But people are protesting here to my right to me still. They're still chanting. They have not let up on these officers. Again, we are packed like sardines. We cannot move. We are going on 3 hours of protesting here. Excuse me. 3 hours of protesting here in downtown Atlanta. It has been emotional. So many people are angry. So many people are just tired. They've had enough. Pepper spray has been deployed. I've seen bikes pushed into the chests of other people. I've seen people thrown and slammed on the ground. I have seen one white man that was taken away in custody. People applauded as he was being walked away in handcuffs, and he had a smile on his face. I've also seen protesters throwing stuff at officers. Officers are just standing here. They've been confrontational on both sides. There's been clashes, as we've seen, people running because of that pepper spray that was deployed. People had to pour milk on their eyes because it burned so badly. And then you saw people just throwing things at officers. Officers at many points were pushed all the way back here to State Farm Arena. But this has been, I'm actually losing my breath because of everything that's in the air, but this has been such a long, long day. And it doesn't compare to the fight that so many people feel like they've been fighting all of their lives. And so that is why they are out here today. They have had enough. They're very angry. Of course, officers are doing their best to try to keep things calm. One man just actually went on one of those loudspeakers over there, just trying to get people to calm down, and people started throwing things again. So I'm not sure what it's going to take for people to calm down today. I know we have a long fight ahead of us, but I'm not sure what it's going to take for people to back down. You can see right here, they are not moving. Their arms are up. They're keeping their hands raised. They are still yelling, hands up, don't shoot, in the officers' faces, and these officers are still here. So we're going to see what happens in the next few minutes. Again, this is a lot of pent-up frustration. This is what we've been seeing all over the country, and it has made its way here to Atlanta. We can't move. We're not going to move, and we'll continue to bring you the updates here live on air on CBS 46, guys.
That's all I got.
Oh.
can't tell you what the right thing to do.
Like, where's Mother Nature when you need her?
Honestly.
Girl.
Win.
I love you, bro, and I want the best for you. But you know this ain't it, bro.
Around, you on Facebook
No,
Live.
you know this ain't it. Bro, I love all y'all black cops, bro. We all niggas up in the day, bro, but you know this ain't it. You know this ain't it, bro. Only way we're gonna get only bro. These niggas know it ain't it, bro. We're just gonna stop the killing of black people. The only way it's gonna stop, you know what? We have to stop. Gotta start killing them. It's the only way it's gonna stop. They ain't gonna stop. That's the only way it's gonna stop. This country was founded on killing. The Civil War was founded on killing. They should ever solve this world without killing. That's why they kill us. They want us to be quiet. That's the only reason why y'all niggas kill us, so we can be quiet. Fuck the police.
Oh, look at that makeup.
It's hot as a bitch out here.
Oh my gosh, like even breathe.
We said we go to sleep on a long flight, and this bitch.
The sad thing is, none of this shit matters. Because next week there will be another armed black man killed. And we doing this shit for nothing. Because niggas gonna stay here with bikes when we trying to make a change.
Everybody waddle these boys, y'all niggas be quiet.
That's the problem. Yo, dumb ass gonna wait for the next headshot.
And you're
He said, you heard him? Jeez. He's gonna get out of this crowd where air can flow. I don't know where I don't know what I can give him. Go ahead.
I don't have my makeup on. I do I look crazy.
You look good. Other than your eyebrows doing this.
Why you worried about that? Why you worried about that? Why should you Black Wall Street didn't happen for a reason, you know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is Black Wall Street go to a white neighborhood and cause chaos like they did back in the day. Shit ain't different. Black Wall Street didn't happen for a reason.
They're still going at this person? Oh, do I feel right?
You got the power right now. You still be right.
Well, the jacket's on. Oh my God. Mom?
No, they were trying to keep it.
Oh, they taking a knee. Okay. Yeah. Right. What is that smoke? Fuck all these motherfuckers. I think they're smoking.
It's not charging.
And the only thing I can do is take it to the truck. Yeah.
Is he going to the truck?
Huh?
Is he going to the truck?
I don't know.
Chris, where are you going? Where are you going?
No, I said the only thing I do is charge your phone at the truck. Oh, okay.
Damn.
I used to read lips.
Our street! Our street! Our street! Our street! Our street!
Well,
Our street! You don't want me to take it? Our street! Our street!
you're gonna leave it in there?
No. I'll just stay there. Just leave it on airplane mode for like 20 minutes. Our street! Our street! Our street! Our street! Our street! Our street! Our street!
Are you hungry? They gave it to us in the park.
Hey, I'll trade you water if I could get past and take some pictures.
You should watch CBS 46.
The National Guard is in Atlanta. Mask up. Mask up. Now I'm telling you.
Oh shit, bro. Mask up. How do I put this shit up?
You serious? Huh? I can't see.
The military truck. Come to work. Come on.
What is that, a tank?
Look at that swamp.
You got a mask? You got a mask?
Can I get past?
I know I don't have one.
Can I get between y'all real quick? I'm trying to.
Ain't nobody got no mask. Ain't nobody got no extra mask, but you need a mask. Well, I'm telling you.
Let's cover your face. I didn't wear it. It's messed up. Y'all can get the bike cops out of here.
Thank you so much.
Recording y'all. Y'all got that street real quick. I'm sorry, don't even get in y'all's way.
You're gonna be a part of the tank. This is what they think of you. It's not in the tank. It's not for the tank. It's a fucking tank, man. Stop fucking
I'm about to take out this motherfucker.
What's happening?
It's just water though. They shouldn't be. Peaceful! Peaceful! They didn't do
Fucking water. Y'all are some bitch ass niggas. How are you a black nigga? You are a bitch ass nigga. Your mama can be saying you bitch ass nigga.
Chill out.
Hello?
Y'all better hold them on, bro. Fuck that shit.
But then she got something to make it go forward.
Yeah, I can hear you. Stand by. Stay out there.
Sorry.
Nope, they went to Ashley. Oh, Rex, sorry, it's so loud, I couldn't hear you. We are still here at the corner, at the intersection of Centennial and Marietta, just in front of the CNN Center. We have not been able to move. In the last 2 minutes, as you mentioned, trucks have pulled up. They are standing right behind these officers. We have a front row view, as you can see here. Things have been thrown from behind me, being slammed against their windshield. Some officers are still getting hit in the face. If you can look, Chris, if you can look right down here in front of me, you can see this man here who is just... Wow, so this man was talking to this officer. Another man came from behind me and poured water into this man's face. That officer is still just standing there. So again, tensions are still very, very high. They ramped up a bit when they saw the SWAT trucks pull up here, and that's when we saw things flying from behind me, even protesters getting hit in the back of the head, and we are still seeing a lot of officers getting hit in the face. No one has been arrested in the last couple of minutes. No one has been detained. We haven't seen any clashes between officers and protesters, but there's still a lot of tension, a lot of anger, and they still want justice. They've been out here for several hours now. I believe, I've lost track of time, I believe we are past 6 o'clock at this point. But keep in mind, we've been marching and walking and rallying and protesting and chanting and they've been raising their hands since 3 o'clock this afternoon all over downtown Atlanta. And now someone has just gotten arrested, as I've been told. I think you can see this on camera here. looks like a white male has been arrested. My photographer has a better vantage point than I do since he's behind the camera, and he's telling me a white man has just been arrested. This is the second arrest that we have seen today during this protest. I can't see from where, but hopefully you guys can see it on screen. So we have another arrest. Of course, we're going to reach out to Atlanta police asking the nature of the arrest and what they're arrested for. But right now, no one's chanting, no one's throwing anything. It just looks like tensions are continuing to flare on the front lines here. I am able to see the officers. If I'm understanding your question, again, it is very loud out here, Rick, so I apologize. But I think you're asking about the response when they are being hit in the face. Is that what you're asking? Okay, so I just saw an officer get, and it just happened again.
Don't do that!
This officer just got hit in the face with water. Wow. Okay, so this officer just got hit in the face with water, with a bottle of water. A protester walked up and just sprayed water into his face, and you could see his reaction. He is just standing here. He reacted for a second, but again, he's just standing behind his bike, not flinching. And that's what we've seen from most officers here. We'll see them react for a minute. Of course, they are human, and then they go back into their stance, going back into that line and creating that human barricade that they've been really creating for the past couple of hours here. But that's what we'll see every few minutes. People throwing things. Just saw another bottle, but we are seeing people getting. I'm sorry, I have to take. Very, very intense out here. I know you guys are watching at home, but yeah.
Fuck the police! 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 Right here.
Oh my gosh. Turn.
That's like half the year. Fuck the police! Fuck they drones! Fuck the police! Fuck they drones! Fuck the police! Fuck they drones! Fuck the police! Fuck they drones!
Our streets! 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 Our streets!
Some police lady in a truck.
Oh no! We ain't going nowhere! We ain't going nowhere! We ain't going nowhere! No! No! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! We got rights! We got rights! Check out First Amendment! We ain't going nowhere!
So we have 3 minutes?
I heard what you said. Black lives matter more than traffic! Black lives matter more than traffic! Black lives matter more than traffic! Fuck the police! Fuck the police! Fuck the police!
I got 12%.
Right now it's probably 2.5.
Oh my god, I can't wait to shower.
No justice, no peace, no racist police. No justice, no peace, no racist police. No racist police.
What did you say?
Stop throwing shit!
White people get in the front!
Go ahead, allies.
White people get in the front!
White people get in the front.
White people get in the front!
Yeah, that's what we running for.
Are you gonna be right here? What you say? Are you gonna be right here?
Yeah.
My phone's gonna die any day on.
They're kneeling.
Oh, no.
When they start counting down,
That's a fun picture.
Everybody get arrested. Get the number down.
What number?
Get the number down. I got one more sheet left. Get the number down. If anybody gets arrested, get the number down. Get it down. Get it down. Get it down. 404. 1519. Get the number down, just in case anybody get arrested.
Sorry. So right now people have started kneeling. What'd you say?
don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot!
So we are on top of each other. We are packed like sardines. As you can see, people's hands have gone up. They are chanting "Hands up, don't shoot." And beyond this crowd of people with their hands up, people have started kneeling. As you heard, they have 3 minutes to get out of the street and onto the sidewalk. And instead of doing that, they have taken a knee. We also see some buses here, but that's latest here.
Both of us what? If this man touch you, it's going straight to his head. And it pins it. We out of here. You better count your men, baby. Count your men. Count your men. Count your men. We can count on two.
You gonna respond?
Our
Say
street!
thanks, Haley.
Our street! 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 Our street!
They try to get all the precincts. I didn't like each other before today.
Let the police don't wake up! Let the police don't wake up!
We're giving out zip ties to the cops.
Why?
To arrest people.
I know, but like, why? We're just chilling.
We're not moving! We're not moving!
I'm zip ties, but I don't see anything. I don't see that though.
We're not moving!
Yeah, sometimes it's just positionality, and I'm not in the best place today.
Oh, I do see the zip ties. I see the zip ties.
What's a zip tie? To zip your hands behind your back like handcuffs. Oh shit!
If anything, it's. Are people still kneeling? No.
I think they should kneel though.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
If anything, you pick up that later?
I think it's the end of it. Like the last one, I have straight up.
We're on the sidewalk.
We're safe, right?
What number are you writing?
Number. So in case you need bail money, you can call this number if you get arrested.
Are they passing those
Stand
out?
up, fight back!
I will do.
Stand up, fight back!
The second time they keep it.
Stand up, fight back! Stand up, fight back! Stand up, fight back! Stand up, fight back! Oscar Kane, say his name! Stand up, fight back! Oscar Kane, say his name! Stand up, fight back! Stand up, fight back! Oscar Kane, say his name! Oscar Kane, say his name! Oscar Kane, say his name!
You might want to put it on your arm. I'll put mine here.
Hands up, don't shoot! Not pussy! You cannot pussy!
It came in handy when I got arrested at school. So,
We're next. Can I ask you to show that? Do you want to talk on camera? Do you mind?
Is it okay? I don't have to identify myself. That's
Huh?
fine. Do I have to give a name or anything, or?
No.
Okay.
I just ask you what you wrote on your arm. I'm gonna ask you what you wrote on your arm.
Okay, yeah.
What's your name? Yeah, I'm ready.
Yep.
What's your name? What? Taylor.
Taylor.
Okay.
funny thing is, I didn't even prep ready. I normally have a double holster, but I was like, I won't need it today. And this is how it always goes. I always like skip over the end every time. I needed it.
That guy got up there. Taylor, right? Okay. So we have not moved because the protesters have not moved. But in the last 10 minutes, I've seen something very, very interesting. As we know, they have said that if people do not move out of the street onto the sidewalk, they will start making arrests. Since then, I have seen officers get out those zip ties. And then I saw this. I want to show you. This is Taylor. Taylor, what did you write on your arm?
Yeah, so they were giving out bailout fund cards at the beginning of the protest, and anybody gets arrested or anything like that, so that they have a bail fund for us to get out. So I just wrote the phone number on my arm.
So what they're doing is they're passing around markers and writing down the number if they do get arrested. This is the number that you're supposed to call. You have this piece of paper for us, right, Taylor? You have. Can I see this piece of paper? This is the paper that they're passing out amongst protesters. It says if someone else is being arrested, number 1, ask for their name and birth date. Number 2, text this info to jail support. And support on the back, again, if you are protesting. So these are what we've come to the point in the protest where these are being passed out among protesters. And again, I have seen officers with zip ties. Nothing has happened yet. It could be the calm before the storm. We're going to see what happens, of course, but people are ready. Of course, there are people here on the sidewalk, but there are several people, as you can see, still in the street. They are not moving. Instead, they're taking markers and getting ready to get arrested. At one point, they did take a knee. They have stood up since then. We have already seen 2 people in handcuffs, but as we saw those zip ties, there could be more. So I'll send it back to you guys, and of course I'll let you know if and when those arrests are made. It's hard to see from where I am. We are at the very, very front of the oh yeah, sorry, you can have this back, sorry. We are at the very front of the protest.